Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much for that, Wendy. I wanted to ask you, because you're a member of the Virtual Speaking Academy, I just wanted to ask you some questions around your experience of being a member, if that's okay.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Fine.
So how long have you been a member, Wendy?
4 months, yes.
Wow, 4 months. Do you know, I can't believe, hasn't time gone really quickly? I can't actually believe it's 4 months. When I looked and checked, I thought 4 months.
Yeah, yes, it has gone really quickly. It's amazing, isn't it? And it's interesting how I really found you, because it was through Jo Dodds, because I've been following her for several years, and then she put it in her newsletter, and that's how I kind of fell over the Virtual Speaking Academy. Yeah, I'm so pleased I did.
Yeah, well, we love having you, obviously. If you just take yourself back 4 months ago, can you remember, so you connected through Jo, through her email. Can you remember at the time what you were experiencing and sort of what attracted you to join the community?
First of all, I mean, I've been a member of Speakers Club, Toastmasters local one, for several years now, and I've learned a lot from that. My confidence has grown. I've learned quite a lot about how to pace a speech and all the other things that go with it. But that's for live speaking, and I just feel there's so much more online now. People are, well, they're much more into technology. Do people really? Yes, they do go to seminars, they do go to speaking events, they do go to workshops, but so many people have got such busy lives that they want something where they don't have to go out, they don't have the time. And so I really wanted to learn more about how to speak online more effectively and how to deliver, because I think there's a lot more to it. It's a different way of behaving, it's a different way of delivering. So that was it was curiosity to start with, but then that was what can you help with, because I just want to get my message out a lot more to the world.
Yeah, and online is a beautiful way to do it, because it's the butterfly effect again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Power to affect one affects many.
Yes.
Wendy, what have some of the benefits been for you personally and for your business?
Wow. Well, the resources within the Academy are just endless. There are just so many videos, so many resources. I was gobsmacked when I discovered how much is in there. I haven't listened to watched half of the things that are in there, but what I have learned, it's been invaluable, not just for me but for my business too. I feel far more confident at speaking. I've learned a lot of different things. I also love the fact that we have the mastermind on a regular basis. There's meeting other people, learning about them, and getting feedback, because us business women, and it's a lonely business. We can get quite isolated, and I think it's so nice to be able to catch up with people and in different countries, which is even nicer. It's just that feeling of supporting each other and being there for each other and getting feedback and ideas and suggestions. I love that.
That's great to hear. Thanks, Wendy. I think confidence is something that is underrated, but actually I think when it comes to speaking online, it's one of the most important things.
Yeah.
This element. If you can't,
yes, it is, because you're not getting any feedback. Yeah. I think that's the one thing I notice, is that if I do a webinar, it's like I can't spend the time looking to see who's there. People don't always interact with me because what I talk about can be quite sensitive and they don't want to be identified. So delivering something when you don't know who's there or who's listening or watching can be really daunting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of professional speakers who are used to speaking on the stage have a fear of speaking online. I have a fear of speaking on the stage. So I've taken my skills online.
Yeah, and I think that's great, because it will build confidence, and maybe there will be a point when you will feel, well, actually now I could venture into something live, just because you've built that confidence, because confidence builds on confidence, doesn't it? So I think there's something like that. But it is utilising what we feel comfortable with and how we feel happy delivering, and honing those skills.
Yeah, really, really important.
And you've got so many different experts as well in the group, in the academy, who are offering different skills, which again is just so helpful.
Yeah, it is. I can't deliver everything, and I really like the idea of people learning other skills from experts who are actually speaking live on the stage. Even though I know the membership is all about live online, the skills are transferable, which I think is really, really important. Yeah, it's one of the things I want to make sure that runs through consistently over the coming year. Wendy, what would you say to somebody who is thinking of joining the Virtual Speaking Academy but wasn't sure?
Just do it. I don't think there's anything to be lost by it. I think there's everything to be gained from it. I learn something new virtually every week, whatever it is, whether it's a new tip or a way of being, or more information or ideas or support or feedback. I think I'm learning constantly, and I'm becoming more and more confident about speaking. I know some of it is just doing it, but I think there's also having that support around you. It's just nice to be part of a community and not feeling alone. And yeah, just do it. Just do it. If you don't try, you will never know what you might have missed. You know, that's the point. So what have you got to lose? It's a non-threatening community, which I love. There's no, I don't feel threatened. I don't feel I'm not good enough, and that's something I've carried around for many years. And so it's really nice to feel that I'm a part of it and I'm being supported. You're
a very big part, and it's interesting when you just said that. I can see while you felt those feelings. I won't allow any naughtiness in the community. There's a lot of naughtiness in the speaking world, and I will not allow it. But it's interesting when you said that. I was just thinking about your story, and I was able to then link it back to your story and go,
yeah.
So yeah,
that's my fallback position on occasions, although I'm aware of it. But yeah, it's definitely my fallback. So if something, if it comes up, then that will be the one that bites me on the bottom. But yeah, no, it is. It's a very caring and heart-centered group, which is delightful.
Oh, I've got goosebumps now.
And that's all down to you, because that's what you facilitate, that's what you created. And I think you should be very proud of yourself that that's what you have created, which is a warm and welcoming group. And I know you suffer with dyslexia, and the fact that you own that, and that how can I say this? It's about acknowledging the fact that we are good enough. You struggle with your spelling at times, and do you know, that's fine, because that means that none of us have to be perfect.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does, and I think it's really important, and it is part what makes us, I know it's a word that's bandied around a lot, but authentic and charismatic speakers, because we show our truth, and that is okay, and it is accepted by everybody who we're connected to. To be honest, some people I used to get hate mail. I don't get it anymore.
Really?
And some really nasty stuff going on. But actually, if I have that now, if someone did that to me in the group now, forget the money, they'd be gone. Because I want our community to be accepting of one another, and that's how you're charismatic and you become authentic and you attract the right people to you. To me, it's part of one of those speaking skills that you learn.
Yes.
Embrace it, because it's that whole confidence piece that you were speaking about earlier on.
Yeah, and I'd so agree, because we've moved away from that, haven't we, with the perfect speakers or the perfect performer or the perfect delivery.
Yeah.
And I think it's when we see that the vulnerability of others that warms us to others much more. And I know when I first trained as a counsellor in 2000, qualified in 2005, that we were told to be a blank screen. We had to almost perform. And that didn't sit well with me, because my clients, well, they didn't know me. They didn't have any understanding of me. And because I see clients at home, they get a sense of me. Yes, there are certain things I don't have in my room, because it's not appropriate. I don't have family photos and stuff like that in the room. But apart from that, they do know me, and I see nothing wrong in that, because they see that I'm a real human being that they can trust enough to be able to be open with me, because I'm just ordinary.
And if you were an empty vessel, how much fun would that be? It's not much fun being an empty vessel, is it?
No.
There's also that question about, ethically, how long do you want to keep someone in pain when you know you can help them?
Oh yeah, I really agree with that. Yes, I mean, they're in enough pain as it is. They don't need to feel that pain anymore. And I can remember we had to have 45 hours personal therapy as part of my training, and there was that therapist that I saw. She was a lovely lady, but she was a blank screen. And I remember saying to her, but you've got it all together, your life is all sorted. And she just turned around and said, have I? And I still remember that all those years on, and that was no help to me. And equally, there were times that I felt, there are things I can't tell you. I feel too shamed to tell you. And I swore from that day on that I didn't ever want that for anybody. I'm a human being with human failings. And I tell my clients, I've earned every one of these wrinkles.
It's your new strapline, Wendy.
I want them to know that I haven't done maybe the same things as them, but I've lived my life and I've made my mistakes, and I'll continue making mistakes, but I want them to know that I'm a real human being.
Yeah. And I think that's a really lovely note to close on. Thank you very much, Wendy, for your time today. This will be shared in our community, and obviously you can share it with your community. Do with it whatever you feel fit. I hope whoever's listening and watching enjoys the session. You know how to get hold of Wendy now, so if you want to reach out to her, there's lots of different ways that you can do it. You can go and check out her book, listen to the podcast, come and jump on some live sessions, which would be absolutely awesome. And yeah, make sure you connect and ask questions. As Wendy says, be inquisitive. That is a great space to be in, is being inquisitive, because you can learn an awful lot. Thanks, Wendy.
And so, thank you. And I'd just like to ask you about what you do now, because I think if I share this with my community, I'd like to be able to share what you do too, because I think that would be so nice for others to understand where you come from.
Yeah, so thank you, Wendy. I really appreciate that, and you've put me on the spot now, so I have to step into my red shoes, as I say.
Yeah, your lovely red shoes.
By the way, they're on.
Ah, good. I love your red shoes.
Yeah, so I work with women, female entrepreneurs who have an established message and want to come online, onto the online space to share their message. It's a bit about what we were both talking about, which is about the butterfly effect. So predominantly the women that I work with have a message that they want to share that brings positive change in business or in life. And I help them to do that by using their voice online and creating things like signature programs and learning to actually become more confident and share their message so they attract the right audience to them. So that's predominantly what it is I do in a nutshell.
Great. And how can people contact you?
Got a bit of reverse psychology going on here.
I know.
The best place to find me is on the website. Well, actually, that's not the best place to find me. I hang around in Facebook quite a bit. So I have quite a big community. So you can find me on Facebook at Wendy Capewell and friend me. The business page is the Virtual Speaking Academy, and the website is virtualspeakingpros.com. Yeah. Facebook is always a good one because it's so personal. You know, you can have a bit of a chit chat and get to know somebody a little bit better.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Because I think I'm sure people want to know how to contact you too.
Yeah. All right then, Wend, you enjoy the rest of the day, whatever you're up to.
Okay, thank you. And you.
Take care, lovely.
Bye.
Bye.